day 2 of writing personal narratives. Remember, yesterday we learned that a personal narrative is a true story where you are the main character. And today we're going to talk about how writers come up with ideas for personal narratives. Have you ever had a hard time trying to decide what to write about? I know I can struggle with that sometimes. But having a good strategy to help you generate story topics means that we don't have to spend as much time brainstorming and we have more time to actually write. We are going to read a story today called Blackberry Picking with Grammy. If you're able, you can print out a copy from the link in the description of the video, or you can find a link to it on our class Moodle page. Otherwise, just follow along with me as I read. And then once we're done reading, we're going to discuss how the author came up with their idea and how you can use that strategy in your own writing.
Blackberry Picking with Grammy. Grammy, I've been waiting all morning for this, I told her with excitement as she rocked in her rocking chair on the front porch waiting for me. Well, sweetie pie, it sounds like you're ready to go, she replied, giving me a big warm hug. Grammy bent over and grabbed the handle of the little red wagon that laid in her front yard. The wagon was filled with all kinds of items that would make our day of blackberry picking successful. She packed 2 thermoses of water and sunscreen because berry picking can get awfully tiring in the sun after a while. She also packed mixed nuts, sliced apples, and crackers for our mid-picking snack. Last, she packed 2 medium-sized buckets for us to put our berries in as we plucked them from the bushes. We made our way down the hill and through the tall green grass behind Grammy's house. We continued walking down until we stopped at the edge of the woods. There they were, the same big blackberry bushes we'd picked berries from the last few years together. Suddenly, the feeling of happiness washed over me as I thought about picking berries with Grammy in the past. Remember the rules, darling? Grammy asked me as we began. I sure do. 1 berry for me and 10 for the pot, I giggled. That's right, smart girl. Grammy winked at me and patted me lightly on the head. Grammy grabbed a bright green branch and pulled it close to us. Over the years, I've gotten better at carefully picking the berries without getting stuck by too many thorns. Grammy and I both were sure to wear long sleeves and pants to avoid the bugs and scratching our arms. We each picked our first berry and held them out towards each other, touching them together gently. Cheers, we said at the same time, and popped the blackberry in our mouths. This was a tradition that we had done before to mark the picking of our first berries. It was sweet and juicy as I bit down and it melted in my mouth. I could hardly wait until Grammy and I picked enough to make her famous blackberry cobbler. I knew we'd be picking until we grew tired, but I didn't mind because this was by far my favorite thing to do with my Grammy. So in this story, the author wrote about a person that was special to her. But she didn't just write a biography about her. Remember, a biography is a story about someone's life. And she didn't write a whole story telling us like what Grammy looks like, where she lives, what her hobbies are. Instead, this is a personal narrative, not a biography. You might notice that again, we had those pronouns. I told her. She gave me a big hug. I giggled. She's doing the buckets for us. Remember, us is a pronoun that includes yourself. Yes, we can see pronouns like she when they're, but that pronoun's talking about Grammy. We have a lot of these. Grammy winked at me. She patted me. So we can tell that this is a personal narrative because the author is using those first person pronouns. This is a special memory that she has with her grandmother. The author's still that main character, but she's telling us about a memory she has with her grandmother because a personal narrative is a story that we write about ourselves. And so one way that you can generate story ideas is to brainstorm memories that you have with a person that is special to you. Let me show you how. If you were able to print out the anchor chart, you can use yours. We're going to be working on the left-hand side. If you weren't able to print the anchor chart out, that's fine. All you need is a piece of paper, and we're going to be drawing a bubble map to help us brainstorm. So one way you can come up with good story ideas is we're using someone special. And like in our example story, Blackberry Picking with Grammy, she was thinking about something they had done in the past. So you might write about memories with someone special. It could be your parents, a grandparent, a friend, a family member, a teacher, really anyone that you have in your life who's special to you. And so in the bubble, if you don't have the printout, you're gonna draw a circle and you're gonna write the name of that person. I'm gonna brainstorm some special memories with my Aunt Carol. And then you want to put in your bubble the name of whoever you're going to brainstorm some special memories about. And so you might think of things that you did with that person, different experiences that you had. So one of the things I remember doing with my Aunt Carol is she really liked to go shopping and get discounts. And there was a store near her house called Sam Moon. And she liked to take us there because they had cheap jewelry and accessories and fun things, and she would take me and my sisters there to go shopping. So I'm gonna put shopping at Sam Moon. And so you come up with something that you did with your special person. Another thing I used to do with my Aunt Carol is she would take me out to Applebee's because they had Oreo milkshakes that were my favorite. And so when I'd visit her, she would take me there and we would have milkshakes together. So we went out to Applebee's for milkshakes. And so again, you're coming up with memories of things that you have done with someone in your life. You shouldn't be copying my memories because yours will be different. When I would go to my Aunt Carol's house, she had a dog named Booger, and we didn't have dogs when I was growing up, so Booger was one of the only dogs I was around, and Aunt Carol would kind of show me how to play with him. He was a really big, slobbery dog. So playing with her dog, Booger. And then one last thing I remember that we did a lot with my Aunt Carol is we would go camping. And our family and my Aunt Carol and my uncle would all pack up and go camping. So now I've got some different ideas of things that I did with my Aunt Carol, and I could write a story about any of these ideas. If it was really easy for you to come up with something, you can always brainstorm more than one person and memories for more than one person, because oftentimes our first idea isn't always going to be our best idea. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And if you can't come up with ideas, take a minute and talk to someone in your family about that special person and see if they can help you come up with some different things that you have done with them. And that way you can complete your own bubble map about a special person.
So now you guys have practiced one way that you can come up with ideas for a personal narrative, making a bubble map, thinking of a person who is special to you, and then coming up with some memories you have with that person. If you are able to print out the anchor chart, hold on to it because tomorrow we will be filling in the other half. And again, if you weren't able to, just hold on to whatever work that you did so you can reference it over the next 2 weeks as we continue writing personal narratives. See y'all tomorrow.